Problemo. Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. Please subscribe to my channel. Tap the notification bell. I'd appreciate it majorly. So, pretty gruesome story here about a man who traveled from Louisville, Kentucky to just south of Chicago in Markham, which I think is a township. A lot of the information in this report comes from the Markham Police Department sheriff. But apparently the man traveled from Louisville to Markham several days ago with 2 to 3 suitcases, and it turns out the 2 to 3 suitcases had a dismembered body and a dismembered woman in it. And the family members ultimately discovered the dismembered body in the suitcases after spending several days with him. The individual hasn't been identified, and nor has the woman's whose body was found in the suitcases. So we don't know the identities of anybody at this point, including the family members he was staying with at this house. This is in Markham there, behind you. So after spending several days, a number of days with them, basically sort of not unpacking and seemingly guarding the suitcases, yesterday he went to the Markham Public Library, and because the family members were suspicious, I believe maybe the sheriff reported that early reports, I'm not sure what that means exactly, but early reports were that a foul odor was detected from the suitcases. Anyways, the family members opened one of the suitcases while he was at the library, and a body part tumbled out, and they immediately repelled and called the police immediately. And they spent basically the balance of the evening being questioned by the Markham Police Department. And the Markham Police Department sheriff doesn't think that the family members have had anything to do with this whatsoever. So the individual, again, who hasn't been identified, who traveled from Louisville to Markham with the 2 to 3 bags with the dismembered body in there, has been in custody, since yesterday. He hasn't even been charged yet. They basically reported back to the Louisville Metro Police Department, providing a tip that there's potentially a homicide that occurred there. And they believe that the woman could be or was a female that went missing in Louisville within the last week or so. So the Louisville Metro Police Department today, at some point, this is only reported from 1 this afternoon, so at some point during the day, they went to an address located on the 600 block of North Height Avenue near Lindsay Avenue, which is actually in this vicinity here, which looks quite nice, fairly residential, just looks pretty middle class and not pretty decent. But in one of those homes, they detected, that a homicide had taken place. I assume, there was signs of blood and murder or something like that. We don't have an exact address. And they haven't identified anybody either. The woman who was potentially killed, as well as the man that they eventually will probably ultimately charge, And he's just been held. He's in custody with the Markham Police Department now, but they haven't brought any charges as well either. But they'll be coming for sure. So that's the extent of the story. I was trying to kind of pin down maybe who was the missing woman, because even before this report came out that the Louisville Metropolitan Police Department had basically been tipped off to a location by the Markham Police Department, of where there may have a potential homicide might have occurred. Even before that report came out, I was trying to figure, if it was in regards to a missing woman that went missing within the last week in Louisville, that would be in the news. And I was looking for it, and I couldn't necessarily find anything. This woman here, these are just missing persons reports in Kentucky. This woman's Greenham County. That's 2 hours away from Louisville, so I kind of disregarded that. The only one was this woman here, and I have no idea if this is the woman who was potentially murdered and and her body dismembered and found in this individual's 2 to 3 suitcases. I assume they were. God only knows, and I assume they would have to have been dismembered at the house that the Louisville Metro Police Department just descended on today, and that's why they see clearly signs of a homicide, because dismembering a human body, what I would think creates an enormous bloody mess. So, but this is the only woman who went missing recently pretty recently in Louisville. You know, Asha Hassan Hussein, 51, Louisville, Kentucky. She was last seen August 24th, and this was reported August 30th. And that would have been a little over 2 weeks ago, and that wouldn't have been last week. And that's what initial reports were, that this was regarding some woman that went missing in Louisville last week. So I don't know, you know, it could not, it's very possible that it's not her. But there's no other missing persons reports for a woman going missing in Louisville last week. And that's pretty much the whole story there, man. It's pretty awful. I'm sure we're going to be getting the identity of the individual who's accused of the homicide, and certain charges will be coming. They'll probably be extradited back to Louisville and so forth. And that's it, man. That's the story there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.